Today was filled with some very hard decisions. The hardest of which was trying to decide whether I was going to review the Snapple crossover candies or, as you already know because of the thumbnail, the Lay's chips that I was able to acquire. So why am I keeping you here? I don't know. Let's just get on with the episode. Greetings and welcome back to another fuckalicious... Greetings and welcome back to another Lay-tastic episode of the Vodkast. I'm your host, Geycen Olivera. Before we go any further, if you guys are loving the content that I've been creating for the last 10 years, would you please consider subscribing to the channel? It would be a huge help for me. I'm trying to get to 1,000 before February 28th of next year when I will be turning 50 years old. And I suppose before we get into the Lays, I do want to talk about these a little bit because for a little while, I was starting to think these weren't real. And I'll tell you why. Because last year, take a look at these right here. Take a look at that. Harvest Apple Orchard, whatever the fuck it was called by, Sour Patch Kids. I never found that. I never found those anywhere, and I am a hunter of all things limited edition. So to not find them was very shocking to me. So someday, hopefully, they will re-release them, and I'll be able to get my hands on them. I mean, we're getting into fall now, so I would have thought that would have been coming out over the Snapple ones, but what do I know? Snapple would have been a great summer release, just like these. I don't know what the deal is with these. Let's take a look. You can win a vacation, doodly-doo. I'm going to fill out for it because, man, sometimes I win things. Not all the time, not very often, but when I do, it's exciting. Okay, so the story behind these is I've been sitting on these two over here for a few days now. I went to Walmart and they had those two and they didn't have the other two. And you also might be asking yourself, Jay, why don't you have the habanero one? Well, because they didn't have it. And to be completely honest, it's the texture of the chip, I believe, that I'm not a huge fan of. Because this is wavy and these two are regular, it looks like. To the best of my knowledge, I can tell that these are regular, this is wavy. Masala is the one I'm most excited about because tiki masala, chicken masala, I love Indian food, which is interesting on this end of things too, because tzatziki is also used to make something that you eat in Indian food. I want to say it's hummus, but I feel like I might be wrong. But I remember trying to make our own hummus. Not me, actually my wife, because I would screw it up. And I had to hunt down tzatziki. And at the time, it was very difficult to procure, if you will. However, nowadays, it's a dime a dozen. You can find multiple, versions of it on the shelf. It's so weird how things change, like how flavors become a normal. Like Cherry Coke wasn't available when I was a kid. I had a black and white TV when I was a kid. Maybe that was because we couldn't afford a color TV, but I grew up on black and white. So I don't know where to start here, but I feel like this is a nice way to divide it. So I think I'm going to start with the tzatziki, which is a pain in the ass to say and even harder to read. If you don't know how to pronounce it, it's a goddamn nightmare. Tzatziki. I think I got that right. If I don't get it right, let me know in the comments below. Let's bust into these and give them a first smell. Wow, that smelled strong. Not only did that smell strong, it smelled like a garbage dump. It smelled awful. It was too much smell coming at me. That might have been my fault. Let me give it a more gentle smell and see what comes of it. Shall we? Okay, that's a little bit better. It's still a really strong smell, but it smells a lot better when before it didn't smell so good. I'm going to hold this up to the camera, even though it's going to be of no use to you. I have the wrong fucking light on. Forgive me. All right, that's better. God damn it. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just going to try this one. It smells very Mediterranean, very tangy. There's undertones of some kind of savory smell there, but we're not going to know until we try it. So here we go. Here's the first one. Tzatziki. This best is a medium child size. It doesn't fit. That is a lot of flavor there. Anybody know what this means exactly? Brotha, may I have some oats? Brotha, may I have some oats? I think it has something to do with sex because getting your oats over in the UK, I believe, is another term for having sexual intercourse. All right. They taste really good. They leave kind of an aftertaste that's a little bit less than I'd like to have in my mouth right now. A little more than I'd like to have. Yeah, a little more, a little less. I don't know. It doesn't matter either way. But we'll judge it at the end. Let's bring the spice down a little bit here, and we're going to try some of the honey butter. I'm going to give it a first smell, a sweet smell. I got to get my nose ready. Now, see, there's not a lot there. There's not much of anything there, and I got blasted right in the face, just like I did with that one. I'm always getting blasted in the face by something. We'll take a look at it. Looks like a normal chip. I'll hold it up as though I'm trying to show it to the camera, even though really there's no point of me doing this. So why am I still doing it? I don't know. Here we go. Let's try the honey butter and break up that. I might need to eat 2 honey butter after that. That is still lingering in my mouth, which wouldn't be bad if I had it with a meal, like at a picnic or something. But on its own, let's just try the honey butter. It's a very gentle, mild, sweet forward chip. I taste the idea of it, the honey butter. When honey is done in chips, it usually accompanies hot honey. There's been many products that were reviewed here on the channel. There you go. There's one right there. I don't even know what it is right now, but you do. That use honey to its advantage, and it tastes really good. This, I get it. Like, honey to me doesn't have a lot of flavor anyway. It's more of a sweetener than anything else. And I taste the honey butter flavor in this, but it's weird having it on a chip. Whereas having hot honey on a chip makes a lot more sense to me because hot chips, are a dime a dozen. All right. Yeah, I feel better. I don't taste that Tzatziki anymore. This isn't even in my mouth anymore. There's not a lot of flavor here. I want more sweet. More sweet. Or something else. I'm choking on a chip. Hang on. That'd be fucked up, huh? You'd never see it, though, because I couldn't upload it. I can see the headline tomorrow on every newspaper in America. The Vodkast chokes to death on camera eating an Oreo. It would have to be an Oreo if it's going to be anything. I think I determined that my biography will be called Death and Oreos, an autobiography by Geycen Oliveira. Because I don't know if you guys know this about me or not, but on Facebook, I am notorious for reporting when celebrities or famous people die. I don't know why it happened. Happened about maybe like 13, 14 years ago. And ever since then, like, I think somebody mentioned like, oh, thanks for letting me know. And I'm like, And every time I see a celebrity death, I now share it. So Death and Oreos, an autobiography by me. Okay, that's the best smelling of the bunch. This was pungent. This was nothing. This is savory. This is an interesting story. The very first time I ever had tiki masala was in New York. We went to this restaurant, an Indian restaurant, and I'd never been to an Indian restaurant before. It was to celebrate my friend Brad's release of his movie at the time. Wasn't Cryptid, which is one of his movies that you should check out. I can't remember. The Killing of Jacob Marr. And after the premiere, we went out to eat. We sat down. We ordered, and I didn't really know what to order, so I had to ask people around me, "What do I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like that." They're like, "Oh, you'll like that." So I got that. Then the server comes back and tells us we didn't order enough for the table. There's a table limit that you have to meet to be able to eat at the restaurant. I've never eaten at a restaurant like that before, but it was fun and exciting. It was a fun and exciting weekend. Also, the Filmmaker Cafe has the best chicken parmesan in the world that I've had to date, except for my wife's. All right, let's just try this. Here we go. That's how that chip makes me feel. That's everything I wanted it to be. I'm not going to sit here and dance around it. That's a 10. That is a fantastic chip. It is my favorite out of the 3. I'll score the rest of them at this point. But the Masala spice on that, it's spot on. It's really good. Very, very good job, Blaze. You might think I'm going to score these low, but I'm not. I'm still going to give them an 8. The flavor is really good. If you just keep eating them, I imagine that would be a thing that you would do if you're sitting around watching a movie at night or something like that, or high as shit. Honey butter, they're not bad. I'm going to give them a 6.5. If you want to, run the gauntlet and try all their new flavors, you got to try it. It's not going to be the worst thing that's ever happened to you. It's not puke. Masala is spicy. It is reminiscent of the plate that I ate in New York that night, and that's saying a lot because that's genuine. That feels like it wasn't faked. It's over the top. It's a lot. It's in your face, but it is really, really good. I don't think I've ever had Lay's that I like better than this. If you can prove me wrong, you can go back and check out my reviews for Lay's chips or whatever. Let me know in the comments below, but that is a standout. This is like, go watch this video. It's the greatest Oreo I've ever tried. I found it on a whim, out of the blue at a weird random store. The story's all in that episode if you want to watch it. It's a little lengthy, I think, but it did for Oreos what this is doing for Lay's chips right now for me. That's how much I really like this, and I cannot recommend enough going out and buying 2 or 3 bags, stocking up before they're gone, because I think these are limited edition. You never know, but they release so many flavors, they can't keep them all on the shelf. It would put them out of business. So I'd love to see this stay around. Love to see it come back if it doesn't. So there it is, the Lay's fall flavors, end of summer. I don't know what the hell we're calling this, but I hope you really enjoyed this. And if you love the content that I'm creating as much as I love creating the content that you guys are watching, would you please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and hitting that little bell icon because it'll let you know every time I put out a new video. Don't forget to make somebody smile today and make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier and a little bit more stylish. Together. Let's sing and dance in the sun and the rain as one, my brothers and sisters. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love, but never let your inner child die. Ooh-wee! Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and take care of those around you who cannot take care of themselves, but they are the ones that need it the most. And if no one has told you today that they love you, the Vodkast loves you very much just the way you are. All right, guys, do no harm. I'm Geycen Oliveira. This is the Vodkast, and I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road to 50. Take care, my friends, and happy adventuring.
Don't go to sleep with a catch it in your pocket.